Hi, I'm the Scrub, and you're here for one reason. Cool, Gaia has started to open up and is now in a pit of despair. Thancred, I've told you to stop hitting on anything with a heartbeat, now look what's happened. This is what I get for trying to be a therapist. Still, at least everyone is still alive. So can someone tell me about this gun that's now stuck to my hand that shoots out two different colored circles that breaks the space-time continuum, or are we just going in blind? Blind it is then. Time to learn about Eden's verse Iconoclasm. Simplified. The arena will not have any walls, so try not to fall off. Empty Wave is a room-wide AoE. Unshadowed Strike is a tether to the main tank. This will hit the tank with a straight line cleaving tank buster. So tanks will need to move away from the rest of the party, and everyone else shouldn't follow the tank with a tether unless you want to be instantly incinerated. Words of motion will cause the birds around the idol to form into balls on the north end of the arena. These will spawn in pairs. So you'll need to stand in the column of birds that spawned in second and then dodge into the first column of birds after they go past. Getting hit by the birds will give you a physical vulnerability up for a moment as well as a vuln stack. Straight after this, there will be red and blue void gates in the middle of the platform as well as on one side of the arena. I think we can definitely say that Portal 3 is confirmed. This is one of the most requested mechanics that people need an explanation for. So I'm going to take a bit of time to explain the portals, but I hope it helps you understand them. The first time the portals happen with them being in the middle, the birds will always spawn first on the red side, then on the blue side. The birds will enter into the colored portals from north to south and exit the portals on whichever side the portals are on, either west or east. The order that the birds enter the portals will also be the order that they exit the portals. So if they enter the portals in the order of red then blue, they will also exit in the order of red then blue. The birds will not exit the portals until all of the birds have entered into them first. So it will always go in the order of enter color 1, enter color 2, exit color 1, exit color 2. The easiest way to dodge this first set of birds and portals is to either stand behind the red portal and walk forward in front of it after the birds go into it, or stand in front of the blue portal and walk forward over to the red portal side after the birds go into it. Just make sure that you aren't up the back of the arena when the birds come out of the portals on the side. The next set of portals will have the entering portals all the way up the back, and now the exit portals cover all 4 rows of the platform. Up the back, the blue portal will always be on the east, and the red portal will always be on the west. The exit portals will alternate down the side of the arena. If the west side of the arena gets the portals, they will always be in order from north to south, blue, red, blue, red. And if the east side of the arena gets the portals, they will always be in the order from north to south, red, blue, red, blue. You'll need to check which portals the birds will be entering first and make sure that you are not standing on an exit row of that colored portal. You'll need to dodge at least twice in this phase. As an example, let's say the birds will enter the blue portals first. So the birds will enter into the blue portal, then enter the red portal, then exit the blue portals, then exit the red portals. You'll need to first dodge between the first set of birds traveling from north to south. So you should stand in the column of the red enter portal before moving over to the column of the blue enter portal as the birds go past. Then you'll need to make sure that you aren't standing on the row of a blue exit portal. So you'll also need to stand on a red exit row and wait for the birds to come out of the blue exit portals. When they go past, you can move into those rows and finish the mechanic. Just in case it still isn't clicking for you, here are some diagrams to help show you where the safe zones are. You'll need to see which side the portals are exiting from, either west or east. When the birds spawn in, you'll only need to focus on the middle 2 columns of birds, as these are the only ones that matter, as they will be the ones going into the portals. You'll need to see which birds have spawned first. If it's the second column, then it's the red portals first, and if it's the third column, then it's the blue portals first. Now there are only 4 different patterns, so you can follow these instructions for your pattern and you'll be okay. After you have located the side which the exit portals are on and the first set of birds spawning in, you can stand on the following squares for your pattern. Then you can move after the birds go past in the columns and wait here for when the first set of birds exit the portals and go past you, so you can move into the final row and you have completed the mechanic. Away with thee will give all players either left with thee or right with thee. There will be a spot at every player's feet that will be connected to another spot a few yards away. When the debuff expires, it will stun all players wherever they are standing and force them along the direction of the path from one spot to the other. This path will move and change direction depending on where you are facing, so you can move to a point where you'll teleport to a safe area of the arena. If the other spot is off the edge of the platform, you will be teleported to your death. False Twilight will put AoEs underneath the feet of every party member. Dodge out of these as best you can to avoid the vuln stack that each AoE will give you if you get hit by them. Directly after this, 2 random party members will get a stack marker. The party will need to split between these 2 stacks to share the damage. These will also give a magic vulnerability up debuff, so you absolutely cannot group up these stack markers. After another room wide and a tank buster, the idol will cast Unjoined Aspect. This will give half of the party a dark aura and the other half a light aura with umbral and astral effect. Balls of birds will then swoop onto the northern part of the arena, but half of them them will be dark and the other half will be light. You will need to be hit by the opposite coloured ball of birds. If you get hit by the same colour of bird, you will be slightly knocked back and instantly die from the increased damage. When you get hit by the opposite coloured ball of birds, it will change the colour of your debuff to whichever set of birds just hit you. So if you have a dark aura and you are hit by the light birds, you will need to reposition yourself to be hit by the next set of dark birds since you now have the light aura. This mechanic will repeat twice with the coloured balls of birds. After this, the arena will get a darker tone and 2 ads will spawn in. These ads can be grabbed and tanked close to each other so players can AoE if they want to. Everyone will either get a back with thee or a forward with thee debuff. This is the same as the left or right with thee debuff, but this time you'll either be teleported forward or behind along the path. As this debuff is counting down, the ads will start casting strength in numbers. This will be a donut AoE on the ad's position. You'll need to position your path to avoid the donut AoEs as best you can. The AoEs will go off just after you have moved with your path, so don't worry about standing in the AoE before you are teleported. Getting caught in either AoE will give you a Von stack. Silver Shot will cause every player to get a point blank AoE around them. You'll need to spread out and avoid overlapping these. At the same time as this, the ads will again cast another strength in numbers, but this time they will get a point blank AoE around them, so you'll need to dodge away from these as well. If the ads are left alive for too long, they will start casting Explosion. If you do not defeat both ads by the time this finishes casting, it will instantly wipe the group. The ads will go down fairly quickly, so you won't see much of the ad phase. After the ads have been defeated, the idol will cast Empty Flood. This is the ultimate. After this, the arena will return to normal. Unjoined aspect will happen with the portals. So you will not only have to stand in front of the birds with the opposite colour of what you have, which will change your debuff to that colour, but you'll also need to watch for which portal you'll get hit by from the side. So you'll need to pay attention to which portal has the same colour as your original debuff. This can look a bit confusing and hectic, but this is very easily solvable. The trick is to stand on one square in the middle of the platform that intersects 2 different portals. You'll always survive this mechanic if you follow these steps. I'll try and explain this again like I did the previous portals, and I'll show you what I like to do during this mechanic. Stand in the direct middle of the arena between the 4 corners of the middle squares. Make sure that you're aware of which of the auras you have, either dark or light, by looking at the particle effect around you or the debuff in the party list or in your UI. Check to see where the portals are exiting from, either west or east. If they're on the west, you'll need to focus on these 2 squares, and if they're on the east, you'll need to focus on these 2 squares. You'll then need to see which pattern you will get for the birds. Again, you only need to focus on the middle 2 columns. If it's dark on the left and light on the right, you'll be able to split into your auras and stand on these squares and be totally safe. And if it's light on the left and dark on the right, you'll be able to split into your auras and stand on these squares and be totally safe. This way, when the birds fly across the arena, you'll automatically be in the safe spot for the next set of birds that will come from the exit portals to the side. When the birds have come out of the exit portals, there will be one more set of dark or light birds. Just stand in a column of the opposite colour of your aura and you'll be grand. After this, there will be a cast of Away With Thee with 2 towers in the middle of the platform. At least one person will need to position their path to teleport themselves to either tower. If a tower is missed, it will mean that it will explode and give everyone in the party a Von stack. From here, mechanics will begin to overlap and repeat until the idol has been defeated. Congratulations, you have defeated Eden 7. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.